In Learning Objective 3.7a, we're going to evaluate function composition for a given input value. So you saw function composition back in Algebra 2x. Let's just revisit the notation for it. There's two ways you can see it written. It'll be either written as what is g of f of x with this open circle, or they're going to put it embedded in each other and you just say it g of f of x. And here's an example of, we have this family tree of John Quincy Adams, and what the question is. They want to know who is the father of the mother of John Quincy Adams. So if I look at it this way and I write it as f of m of John Quincy Adams, the way to evaluate function composition is always do the inside first. So the question is, who is the mother of John Quincy Adams? So you go to John Quincy Adams, find his mother, which is going to be right here, and the answer here is Abigail Smith. So now I'm going to say, put the answer in there. So we said Abigail Smith. So now the question is, who is the father of Abigail Smith? So you go to Abigail Smith, you find her father, and the answer to this question would be Reverend William Smith. So this is a real-life example how function composition would work. Let's look at a numerical example. So two questions here. First thing we might want to ask ourselves is, will we get the same answer or different answers? Here they want f of g of negative 2, and here they want g of f of negative 2. So if the order is reversed, will it matter? Let's just do an example. Let's rewrite letter A as f of g of negative 2. First way to start is just do the inside question first, so let's find g of negative 2. It tells us to go to the g function, which is right here. In the g function, wherever we see x, we put negative 2. So right in there. So let's do negative 2 minus 7. That simplifies to negative 9. So that is g of negative 2. So I'm going to replace the symbol g of negative 2 with its answer of negative 9. So then the question really is, what is f of negative 9? Well, it says go to the f function. That's this one right here. Wherever you see x, put negative 9. So right here, I'm going to put negative 9. So it's 2 times negative 9 squared plus 3 times negative 9. Now doing your order of operations, we're going to do negative 9 squared first, which is 81, then times it by 2, so we'll get 162. This will be negative 27, so this will give us an answer of 135. Okay, let's change it up and see if it matters if we change the order. Letter B wants us to find g of f of negative 2. So I go to the f function and I put negative 2 in for x. So right here, so that would be 2 times negative 2 squared plus 3 times negative 2. Do negative 2 squared first, so that's 4. Then 4 times 2 is 8. Then minus 6. And then that's going to give us 2. So that is f of 2. So I'm going to take out the label of f of 2 and put its actual answer. So now the question is, what is g of 2? Well, to find that, I go to the g function, which is right here. When I see x, I put a 2, which is right there. So 2 minus 7, the answer here is negative 5. And we are going to notice they are different answers. In most cases they will be. Sometimes it could happen that they would be the same. Let's look at one more example. The functions have changed this time. The f and g are different equations right here. Let's find f of g of 4. So I'm going to start by finding g of 4. Again, I go to the g function and I put in 4 for x. I'm going to keep it as a fraction, and that would be 1 over 13. So 1 over 13 goes in place of that, which says the real question is, what is f of 1 over 13? So I identify the f function, which is this right here, and I put 1 over 13 in the place of x. So it used to be x squared. It's going to be 1 over 13 squared Recall with exponents that 2 just goes to both. So 1 squared over 13 squared, answer is 1 over 169. Reversing the order, let's take a look at g of f of 4. I'm going to find f of 4 first from the inside. Go to the f function here. Instead of x squared, it's 4 squared, 16. That is f of 4, so I put it in there. Now I need to find g of 16. So I'm going to go to the g function, which is this one here, and put in 16 for x. And that's going to give us 1 over 49. Now letter C down here was meant to be f of g with the open circle. Just know that this just means f of g of 4, which is going to be the same answer we got above as 1 over 169.